What if your body has been trying to tell you something for years? A quiet tremble, a slower walk, a fading sense of smell. You brush it off as aging. But what if it's not? What if those small changes are actually whispers of something much bigger? Parkinson's disease? I'm Doctor. And over the past 20 years, I've seen too many lives turned upside down because the early signs of Parkinson's were ignored. So today, I want to show you what those signs really look like before it's too late. If you're over 65 or care for someone who is, this video could be one of the most important things you watch this year. Hit that like button to support this life-saving content and subscribe so you never miss a critical health update. Let's uncover the 7 early warning signs of Parkinson's after 65 that you should never ignore. 1. Resting tremor. Let's start with the most recognized but most misunderstood symptom: tremor. You might imagine dramatic, uncontrollable shaking. But in the early stages of Parkinson's, tremors are much subtler. They often begin as a slight rhythmic movement in the hand, fingers, or even lips, and they usually appear when the body is at rest, not in motion. Imagine sitting in your chair watching TV. Your hand gently twitches, but when you reach for the remote, it stops. This is called a resting tremor, and it's one of the most classic signs of Parkinson's. It typically starts on one side of the body and may feel like you're rolling a pill between your thumb and forefinger. And because it disappears during movement, many people ignore it or chalk it up to stress or caffeine. But here's the truth. If you notice this kind of tremor consistently, especially in the same hand or foot, it's worth discussing with a doctor. Track it, record it, don't ignore it. 2. Muscle rigidity and stiffness. Muscle stiffness is often blamed on aging or arthritis, but Parkinson's rigidity is different. This stiffness affects your muscles, not your joints, and it often resists passive movement. When I examine patients, I can feel it in their arms, a ratcheting or cogwheel motion instead of a smooth bend. This is a signature sign of Parkinson's rigidity. It usually begins in the shoulders, neck, or hips, making everyday tasks feel heavy and slow. You might notice you can't swing your arm naturally when walking, or that getting dressed takes twice as long. One patient told me, "It's like my muscles are made of rope, tight, tense, and hard to move." This kind of rigidity can affect posture, facial expression, and even handwriting, leading to something called micrographia, when your writing becomes unusually small and cramped. The good news? Rigidity often responds to physical therapy, medication, and early intervention, but only if you catch it early. 3. Bradykinesia, slowness of movement. We all slow down with age, but bradykinesia, the medical term for slowness of movement, is something else entirely. It's not about tiredness. It's not about laziness. It's about your brain struggling to initiate and control movement. Think about how quickly you used to button a shirt, write a check, or cut vegetables. Now, those same tasks might feel slow, awkward, or effortful. Patients often describe this as feeling trapped in slow motion. You're trying to move, but it's like your body is dragging through mud. This symptom doesn't just affect how fast you move, it changes how you move. Your steps may become smaller, your gestures less expressive, and your reaction time delayed. Some people even lose their natural arm swing while walking. Over time, this can affect independence and confidence. But recognizing it early means preserving your mobility longer and taking back control before more neurons are lost. 4. Balance problems and posture changes. Have you noticed yourself walking differently? Maybe hunched over, with shorter steps. Or perhaps your balance just feels off. That's not just aging. It could be postural instability, another core symptom of Parkinson's. Parkinson's affects the brain's ability to control automatic posture corrections, making you more prone to falls, especially when turning, changing directions, or standing up too quickly. You may also start to notice a more stooped posture, with the head and shoulders leaning forward. Even small movements, like getting up from bed or reaching for a shelf, can become risky. One patient told me he always held onto furniture when walking around the house, not out of fear, but because something just didn't feel stable anymore. Falls in seniors can be life-altering. But here's the encouraging news. With balance therapy, fall prevention strategies, and early treatment, this symptom can be managed. But you have to act before the first fall happens. 5. Changes in speech and voice. Have you been told to speak up more lately? Does your voice feel flat, quieter, or harder to project? This might be more than fatigue. It could be hypophonia or reduced voice volume caused by Parkinson's. Parkinson's can affect the muscles involved in speech, breathing, and vocal tone, making your voice sound soft, breathy, or monotone. Your conversations may feel harder to engage in. You may pause more between words, or your words may run together. Some people also experience difficulty with enunciation, leading to mild slurring or slower speech. These changes can be subtle at first, but they can deeply affect your social life, confidence, and communication. Fortunately, speech therapy, especially the Lee Silverman voice treatment, or LSVTLOUD, has shown tremendous success when started early. So if loved ones are asking you to repeat yourself more, listen closely. Your voice may be warning you. 6. Disrupted sleep with vivid dreams or movement. Not all Parkinson's signs appear during the day. Some start in your sleep, long before motor symptoms show up. One of the most predictive early symptoms is REM sleep behavior disorder, RBD. Normally during REM sleep, your body stays still while your brain dreams. But with RBD, that safety lock malfunctions, causing people to kick, punch, yell, or act out their dreams physically. Some people fall out of bed. Others thrash violently, without even knowing it. One man's wife described him as boxing ghosts in his sleep. Other nighttime issues include restless leg syndrome, frequent awakenings, and excessive daytime sleepiness. Sleep issues are so closely tied to Parkinson's that up to 80% of people with RBD go on to develop it, or a similar neurological disorder. If your sleep partner has noticed unusual nighttime behavior, or if your dreams are becoming violent, it's time to get checked. 7. Loss of smell, hyposmia. This final sign often surprises people, a sudden or gradual loss of smell. And no, it's not from allergies, a cold, or even COVID. In Parkinson's, abnormal proteins build up in the areas of the brain responsible for smell, long before movement problems begin. People might stop noticing strong odors like coffee, perfume, gasoline, or even spoiled food. You might think, it's not a big deal. But smell is deeply connected to memory, taste, safety, and brain function. Some research shows up to 95% of people with Parkinson's experience some form of smell loss, often years before other symptoms appear. If you or someone you love is experiencing this, especially in combination with the other signs we've discussed, this is not just an aging issue. It could be an early red flag. If you've noticed one or two of these signs, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Pay attention to patterns, track your symptoms, and if 3 or more of these warning signs sound familiar, especially if they've appeared within the last few months, book an appointment with your doctor. Early detection is the key to slowing progression, preserving independence, and maintaining quality of life. Keep a journal. Bring a loved one to your visit. Be proactive, not reactive. If this video helped you, please hit like so YouTube can share this with others who need it. Subscribe for more in-depth health guides every single week. And if you have questions or experiences to share, drop them in the comments below. You're not alone. You're not powerless. And this knowledge, can be the difference between struggle and strength. Stay informed, stay supported, and most of all, stay hopeful.